Welcome, welcome to my lovely HP community and the 5D Collective. To those who are new, our lovely 5D Collective involves non-traumatized individuals who are mystics and not, that know secure attachment, restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, regulating. Okay, so we love to love and live and laugh and learn and expand, and that's as straightforward as it's going to get for right now so that I can read to you, but we will continue our conversation on the attachment trauma bit that you all know I know, but I'm not going to integrate it right now because our lovely new moon, as always, keeps bringing to those of us that are empowered feminines and masculines a bountiful of in-depth, contemplative, and magical experiences. So today we have as our guest the hummingbird. Oh, let me go grab it. That's our guest of honor. And that's because the channeled guidance that came through with food for thought is with the hummingbird as the protagonist. Okay, so those who are of our 5D collective, mystics and not, again, we get to experience enlightenment and expansion because of taking emotions, metabolizing them, feeling them, sharing them, and thoughts. And they're not irrefutable facts. So imagine a body that picks up on and perceives every bit of emotion and frequency out there, which is where those of us who are intuitive are. Okay, now imagine being surrounded by all that is human suffering, which are all the not securely attached people who have not metabolized their infancy, child, or whatever it is. Okay, so that keep it basic and straightforward. Any suffering involves the not securely attached human being. 3D, 4D collective is what I call them, and that's Maria's choice of words, and that's because they're in the body's state of protection, not connection, when they're thinking, when they're feeling, Okay, and so we are not here to make anyone have to be mindfully aware, accountable, regulating, or reflective with their body being in the state of safety, which means in their ventral energy, which means in their social engagement, non-reactive stance. And so Zen Master has laundry. We don't have laundry. We have love. He has human suffering love, and that's how it's going to stay because he keeps using his temporal junction. So we all pick up on each other. This is common knowledge to smart attachment trauma educators that I've learned from, and to anybody who is attachment trauma informed, mystic or not, once again. So the ones who are doing mindfulness, mindsight, and mindset for real and not pretend. And that's because some people, they just use their words, their mouths, but they're not here. Mystics, spiritual intuitives, we tap into the sphere of consciousness from this also our relational field, but the entire earth beyond. And the ones who are grounded in reality, it's because we have the bilateral, vertical, and overall integrated brain with the restorative embodiment. And so by being grounded in aliveness, we're not destabilized by sensations, images, affects, meanings, behaviors, any of that which comes up when we're channeling, when we're downloading, when we're doing an Akashic record reading, when we are in the middle of a Reiki session. Okay, so the 5D collective embodied mystic is not going to be destabilized and not going to be overwhelmed. They won't know of overwhelm as their spiritual body, light body, light body, light body expands, and the rainbow body. The groups who are overwhelmed, that's why they have different collectives that can support them. Okay, and that's where every one of us, again, picks up on this stuff, but some of you pick up on it more, some of you less. But essentially, we will feel every human reverberating out there. And I compared it to something like this in case you need an example. Imagine having a stereo blasting music in the car, because that's what we're picking up on when I say frequency. It's like I described, water, okay, the ocean, and I don't know if you'll know this or not, but I'll do my best to give you the texture, right, of a calm sea, right? Calm sea, when you put your hand in water and you can feel that depth of the water. But it's calm, so when you're settling into it, right, and the water is around. Okay, so now imagine that's fine. It's full of darkness. There's no light. You don't see anything. You're just perceiving the wet water. But anytime something moves in it, you're going to perceive that. Okay, so the person who is intuitive, the way that I know, Anima Mundi, God, Akash, all of that, so we pick up on energetic imprints, It's like music in a car. So now put music in a car and you're hearing that beat, all of them, and put different types of musics, but you're not destabilized because you maintain that hand in the water. So you don't get off your track, off your balance, which is where the integrated brain comes into the mix, and the restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, regulating, mindfully, mindset person. And so you own the sense of self, your name, human name. My name's Maria. What's your name? Okay, so you're not going to say this is me. You're going to say, no, my nervous system is this. And then you're going to know that that is not your nervous system. It's called differentiation of the self, as Dr. Daniel Siegel explained it. So you recalibrate to your own self-regulating ventral, and you're aware that wasn't and is not me. So he uses two guitar strings. I'm a guitar string, you're a guitar string. Because I'm a differentiated self and I am able to be self-regulating consistently, and I own my sense of self, which means Maria doesn't get lost when I'm around somebody who's vibing at a different frequency and in a different mind. I don't get confused. And so that's why we maintain integrity, we maintain humility, we maintain our own ego. You don't lose it. You don't get any kind of bullshit stories. You do have decentralization of the self experiences, as Patrick McNamara explains, but they don't fail you because you don't switch a flip. Oh, I was doing yoga. It was amazing. Oh, yoga brings demons out of you. So when people flip a switch, they're not expanding. They really just had experiences take over, and really rigidity is what's going to share. People who are the 5D collective, we expand with topics. We don't get rigid and close-minded. And okay, so again, the blasting music in a car, and I'm now recalibrating to mine though, and I don't actually calibrate to yours. So because I'm a differentiated self, I'm a me. I own my sense of self, my core, my narrative, my relational, and therefore I connect to you as a safe haven, secure base, meaning that Maria is safe to be herself. And that's it. And so I'm a non-traumatized, secure attachment in the presence, person, and mystic in the presence of another. As I'm resonating, I'm attuning to you. But I don't have to tell you what I'm attuning to, because I'm present. Attuning, resonating will mean when we have that exchange, and then trusting. I confused acronyms. Dr. Daniel Siegel is good with the acronyms. It will be when you're curious, open, accepting, and loving, present with me, that as I attune to you, and then words come out of my mouth, and we are exchanging what is going to be our own mui, okay? So here's our counterparts, by the way. Even if we have little splinters or ruptures, meaning things that are mismatched. They can be arguments with friends, lovers, you've had that, okay? But securely attached people and mystics will not be disrupting those. We don't block, we don't cancel, we don't unfriend, we don't do any of let's call each other names, okay? No, so when we are resonating and splinters arise, we know mental, emotional, physical maturity. So once again, you don't get destabilized. And that's because your emotional state, mental state, and body's nervous system state doesn't depend on another. But when you're picking up on all of that, and you have 3D, 4D who instead, they do not have any of what I just described, they're creating a bunch of stories for you right now. So we leave that alone. But here's where, for the 5D collective, the way that we support ourselves through being able to pick up on the sphere of consciousness, the relational field, okay, and everyone around us, however little or big it is. For some people, it's only one human being. Okay, so for one person, it might be, oh my God, every time I'm around that person, they can still put mindfulness mindset and mindset into practice. Why? Because they can regulate securely their own self and be in a room with another person who's different than them. And there's our functional inner child adults. So the way that a mystic or a mindfully living and loving person or spiritual person is going to, for the spiritual group, expand your light body, by the way, and embody more of you. That's the part. You're going to do this by having self-awareness, accountability, and regulation. In a restorative embodiment, a differentiated self, that whole 3-year-old, all your child parts asleep, an integrated brain, so you're a whole self, sense of self, core, narrative, relational self, okay? And you use and apply inner growth mindset, mindfulness practices, and mindset skills that can ground you in your body state of safety and connection. This is why you are now anchored in ventral. And that's as you use your body's non-reactive nervous system response, and your mind and heart maintain wholeness because you have a whole self, and you therefore maintain stability. clarity, and the sense of self that is owned by you with unconditional love and equanimity and integrity. So you get to be yourself with the flaws and imperfections, but you get to share it. And that's exactly why we have the 5D collective counterparts who grow intimate, passionate, and enriching romantic relationships. They are self-empowered feminines and masculines who have each other's whole self and soul fulfillment at heart. They are here to support each other to achieve the self's state of wholeness. Okay, so with finished business, not bringing your unfinished business. You're going to care about another person and how they can show up. And so by allowing each other to support our wholeness, we say we will walk together this earth feeling safe to bring forth our true self with all of our quirks and imperfections, everything that makes each other unique. That's intimately, of course, is the funnest part of all. And then with the world, even more fun, but that shared connection makes it more fun for those who are deeply enriched by each other, because wholeness is a deeply enriching, invigorating, and energizing experience when you meet mentally, emotionally, physically mature men, women, and theys who you're building a romantic, authentic relationship with. Because the other ones, they can use terrestrial. Their energy is really not that big yet. And I'm not kidding, it's small. So the other part is that the counterparts support each other's fulfillment, wholeness, and the support is, what do you want to leave behind? So I'm going to be interested in the legacy that you're telling me. This is what I want to be remembered for. This is what I feel called to. So the empowered counterparts know that we will leave in our lifetime something, and that every person, man, woman, or they, has something in mind that they will share with you, because that's what wholeness is about. And that's why, again, counterparts support each other to expand with what they each will share. This is what fulfills me. This is what makes me whole. This is what I feel is going to enrich my everyday. We listen with great detail, with great mindfully aware hearts. We're curious. We're like, hey, I get to find out more about my divine. And it doesn't need to be divine, but you basically say, I get to find out more about this. Who wouldn't want that? Except for the ones who lack self-awareness, accountability, regulation with healthy self-worth. They don't want that because they're consistently triggered by envy, jealousy, spite, revenge, low self-esteem. So the 5D collective are not. We're mentally, emotionally, and physically aware of our true self. We're accountable for self-regulating in our state of safety and connection with others. And we know how to choose healthy self-worth for ourselves and healthy self-worth partners, and people. We build and choose genuine and authentic relationships, and we recalibrate with the facades because we will respect their choice, and we also know how to. So again, we don't get to resonate in what their frequency is. We maintain our frequency. They can then choose if they want to hang out with healthy, self-worth, empowered men, women, and theys or not. So the 5D collective choose the body, mind, state of safety and connection. We make restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, and regulating mindset and lifestyle choices. Thanks to our collective's effort, we have a lovely little hummingbird who continues to fly across the skies and bring its loving heart frequency to all those who will welcome it and rise above the fray with the essence of love and life from the body, mind, heart, self, and soul anchored in ventral. And on that note, I will actually share with you another channeled guidance which involves more of a story with the hummingbird. But for this one, I will allow myself to pause. Thank everybody who showed up. If you want, like, share, and subscribe. There'll be more later on, like I said, the hummingbird. But this is a bit of human, a bit of mystic and spiritual, so a sweet spot. And that's because the ascension energies are actively allowing every person to embody more of their wholeness. It's only if they're welcoming themselves, and they are, by being their true self, mindfully, and with flaws and integrity, and getting to share with a counterpart and or more, depends on their journey, that they know embodies the exact perfection of what their counterpart is going to embody. And that's unconditional love, discernment, flaws, imperfections, and I love to love. And my baby, he loves to dance, and he loves to live and laugh and learn and not cast stones and expand. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away. So there's an innocence and there's a bond that is unbreakable because of the shared honesty, genuine, innocent eternal child that gets to come out and play, which is why we're inner child adults, because, it's fun. So you are authentic, transparent, and having a good time. Again, we'll be back with more. Have a good one.